Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and this is Top 5s, the only weekly Top 5 show in snowboarding that you care to watch to learn about jib boards. There might be other Top 5 shows out there, and you might watch them and you might learn something. But this one, right now, is going to teach you about jib boards. So, let's look at some of these noodles that are out there for 2023-2024. Number 5, the Marhar Invasion. Now this does come with a little bit of a steeper price tag to it, and it is a little bit more of a damp ride just with the way that Marhar does their construction methods, but they overhauled the core on this board this year, and it makes those tips where that rocker section is even more buttery and pressable. So with that flat to rocker, it's really easy to roll up on the nose or the tail and lock in. This is a board that it's got a little bit of rebound, but it's kind of like just riding a skateboard around the mountain. You're able to pop off anything, lock into a press, hold it, pop back out. So when you're hitting rails and ledges, you got no problems with it. Number 4, the general public snowboard. Yeah, that's a lot of public in there. What I like about this board is that hybrid profile to it. It locks into presses and still gives you that snap when you absolutely need it. This is a board that comes from a brand that's designed for hitting the streets and hitting jibs, and it does just that. It's a real pleasure to get on this board when you do get a chance, because you're like, oh, hey, wasn't expecting that. You know, it's like a jib board with snap, and I think when people think of jib noodles, they're like, oh, I should just get the softest thing out there, but you do actually want a little bit of rebound in there, and this board provides that. So you can actually pop a higher ollie when you're getting up onto a ledge, or you need to clear over a rail, duck under something, and then pop back up onto another rail. It's one of those boards that it surprises you. It's got a little bit of fight, but not enough that you're like, oh, it's overwhelming. You're more like, oh, this makes sense. That little bit of fight, I hit the end and I'm able to pop out over the fat skier that fell in the vagina rut at the end of the feature. Number 3, the Capita Ultra Fear. You get two options with this, camber or reverse. Reverse, going to be super buttery and playful. Camber, a little bit of snap and response, so you can really just leverage your weight into the presses on that and pop out. I like the fact that you got two options with this. For the more lazy rider, you go with the reverse. For someone that wants a little more precision, you go with the camber. This is a solid board for just hitting rails, riding down staircases, and bonking off everything in your path. Number 2, the Rome Artifact. This is a board that's been in the Rome lineup for almost ever, and I do mean literally for almost ever. I think I've ridden something like 14 different versions of this board at this point. But you get camber with it, which is nice, because when you learn how to press with camber, you become a better rider. And that double kick tip in there really lets you push in, leverage your weight up on, and it almost feels like there's rocker, but there's not. And you just notice how that engages and disengages when you get off a feature. When you go sideways, that camber helps cradle around it. Overall, it's a jib board that you can do a little bit more on. Honorable mentions, all great options, but just barely didn't crack the top 5 of this list. The Ride Kink. You can ride like Jed Anderson with this board. The Signal Park Rocker. This board actually blew me away when I got on it. I was like, oh wow, this is way more jibby and easy to press with, but still had a little bit of response. And the final honorable mention is the Arbor Relapse. Now, sure, some people are like, why didn't you go with the Draft? Draft's soft, it's playful, it's easy. Relapse, camber, gives you response and snap out of the feature. In case you haven't learned, a lot of you need to ride camber. Anyways, these were the honorable mentions, all great options, just barely didn't crack the top 5 of this list. And the number 1 jib board for 2023-2024 is the K2 World Peace. I really don't know what the difference is between this and the Geometric, but the World Peace is the replacement to the Worldwide Weapon, a jib board that changed jibbing and park jibbing for the world. This is the successor, and it's got camber, so you need camber in your life. You do. You know who you are. Don't even lie to me. Oh, I need my reverse board. I'm going to go just lean back and do high-speed wheelies onto this box. No. You're going to ride camber. You're going to pop an ollie. You're going to press hard. You're going to pop back out, and you're going to thank me for it. You know who you are. So if you like jibbing and you want a board you can just beat the crap out of and then throw away, this is it. This has been my top 5 jib boards for 2023-2024. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this list. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here, do you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and well, I've got to continue to be your host because TC hasn't taken over doing all these top 5 lists yet, you heathen. And I'll see you in another video.